Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another new One Punch Man episode review. And we kind of start off, I say kind of because the beginning of the episode. I'm just gonna get straight into it. By the way, the beginning of the episode starts off with a gag with. I think it's a really funny gag, especially if you know me, and my interest in games. Specifically of fighting games, because this whole gag is King and Saitama, and they're at King's apartment, and they're literally just playing, the universe's version of Street Fighter. And I just found that really funny because the whole time Saitama is just getting really pissed off that he can't beat King in any form or fashion, and I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny that they were literally just playing Street Fighter. And Saitama's getting like super pissed off because he can't beat King whatsoever, and he's like taking this like super seriously, especially when Saitama says that he's going to use consecutive low weak kicks, and it's a strategy that works every time or whatever. And I'm just like, that's funny. I really like that. I don't know why they thought that was something they needed to put in the episode, but they always have funny gags in their episodes, so it's whatever. And then we continue off right where we left off after the opening for the episode. And it just continues off where we left with last week's episode, I believe, which is the Monster Association. They possess some guy who's there, and they have a message from, well, the fucking Monster Association. And they're at the Hero Association. And this right-hand man to, Orochi, like the main, like, big bad boss guy for the Monster Association. I don't really remember his name, and there's a couple other names that appear that are like super long and complicated to say, so I'm not gonna attempt it whatsoever. But what's it called? He has a message there, and his message is him basically saying like, "Oh, the Monster Association just wants to be left alone, and they're in an abandoned city Z, and all they want is for one day for the monsters and the heroes to, not, what am I trying to say? Just be together and not have any conflicts with each other. That's just it." And there's a guy, and he has a gun, and he's like, "Okay, I believe you," and he puts the gun down, and then he's like, "So all you have to do now is just release the hostage." And you know what happens? He gets shot in the forehead and he dies. I'm just like, oh no, wait, no, he doesn't commit the D word. He is no longer not living. That's what it is. Demonetization. So yeah, that was just like a whole big spiel. It's a joke. The monster who even said it was like, that's probably like my best joke. I thought that was funny that he just threw in that line at the end of his I just thought it was funny. I don't know. I just thought that line was really funny. And of course, their whole big plan ultimately at the end of the day is to, have humans be extinct and take over the planet, right? That's their whole scheme. But the way that they want to start it off is that they want the Hero Association to send all their strongest and big boss guys that are on the top of the Hero Association, for those who are heroes, like Class S and maybe some that are in Class A that are decently strong, just their strongest heroes. Because they're pretty confident that they have enough strong monsters that are going to be able to take down these Class S heroes. Maybe they can, maybe they won't. Metal Knight got his ass kicked with the robot that he sent off, and I don't know. I mean, like, granted, the monster he was fighting was kind of stupid, retarded about how ridiculously strong he is. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that word. But the episode continues on, and they're basically just wanting to take over the whole planet by starting off with taking out the strongest pros, the strongest heroes that they can send off to. And then later on in the episode, a couple of villains, not villains, but monsters that were in previous episodes, they show up, and that cockroach guy that Genos was fighting, Genos is actually in the episode briefly, but that cockroach guy, he gets eaten by Orochi, the big bad boss guy of the Monster Association. I was like, oh, so he eats people. That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. Whatever, though. Of course, they finally figure out that Goketsu is not living anymore. His head is completely ripped off, and I was like, oh, that took you long enough to figure out. Garou, he actually makes an appearance in the episode. Of course, after he got slapped by Saitama, thinking that it was King. Of course, he basically just can't move very well, and he can't fight, very well. That's what he says. But at the end of the episode, he actually does end up. He ends up doing kind of well, sorta, a little bit. He's still, obviously affected by his wounds and all the fights that he's been doing, but he sees a Class A hero called Death Gatling, I believe, and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna go and find a hideout, whatever, whatever, right? So he leaves. Genos, like I said, he makes an appearance in the episode, and he has new upgrades. His, not creator, but the guy who turned him into a cyborg is basically like, I remember when I was like, my younger days, just be sure not to push yourself and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, okay, he'll still do it anyways. This is like his fourth or fifth fucking time being here, so whatever. Of course, headlines start surfacing, and the public start figuring out the hero headquarters was infiltrated by the Monster Association. Can the pros even stop them whatsoever? There's that little kid. I forget his name. I forget a lot of these characters' names. I apologize. But the little kid that's like a Class S level hero, he's talking to Metal Knight, and Metal Knight's kind of like, screw the Monster Association. If we go there ourselves, we'll just cause more casualties. So let's just nuke the place. And I'm like, no, because they have a hostage, and, it wouldn't be very hero-like to do that. No, no, let's not do that. And obviously the Hero Association is like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to reject that. But then Middle Knight kind of points out something that makes sense, and it's just like, they really only just care about the hostage because of financial reasons. But even then, I guess it's not really a good thing to do. Saitama is back in his home, and then a whole bunch of monsters show up, and I don't know why I didn't figure this out any sooner, but yeah, Saitama's, or maybe I just forgot, because I think it was actually referenced before that his house was in City Z. So Saitama's house is literally in the heart of the Monster Association, and he has no idea. He just thinks that monsters are showing up out of nowhere more frequently than normal, and he's just like, oh, I guess I'll just, beat them up. And then the last half of the episode, the last quarter of the episode rather, is basically just Garou and that one kid who had that guide with all the information about the pros, the heroes and stuff. They start having interactions with each other, and it's kind of weird to see Garou not be a giant asshole, not be a huge dick. He's actually kind of like an okay person to this little kid for some reason. It's kind of weird. And then, of course, Death Gatling and a couple other pros. I say pros, I'm thinking of My Hero Academia for some reason. But a couple other heroes, they show up. It's 8 against 1. Garou can't really, fight all too well because of his injuries. And the whole team of heroes are literally there to counteract every single point of strength that Garou has. But as we already know, it wouldn't matter because he's ridiculously strong for literally no reason. I say that, but it's kind of hyperbole. He did train really religiously, and he's still really strong and everything. He's taking down all these heroes and everything that are ridiculously strong, but he's super weakened. He's got injuries. He's not really at the peak of his physical ability. There are even Class B heroes that are there, with Class A heroes that are fighting against Garou, and we already know he would be able to deal with them easily. And Garou even says that in the episode, at the end point of the episode, he's like, "But with these injuries, I can't really do that." So it's kind of a more exciting and rigorvating. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's more exciting. My whole point is that it's more exciting to see Garou at a weak point for him. But I say at kind of a weak point because he's still stupid fast and strong. He still can't counteract these these 8 guys against his one self that is extremely weakened. But I kind of like how they're showing us a weaker version of Garou, and he has to think his way out of the situation because all these heroes are literally there to counteract almost every single aspect of him, and I just think that's kind of cool. I just honestly think that's pretty cool. And then the episode ends, and that's just kind of it. It ends off with the cliffhanger of those heroes and Garou fighting each other. And I'm like, I wanted to see more. Why didn't you show us more? I wanted to see these guys get their ass kicked. It would have been funny. But that's kind of it. That's kind of the whole episode. There's really nothing else to add on top of that besides Garou's still ridiculously strong even if he's injured. I don't care. But that's it. That's it for me with One Punch Man this week. I'm going to return next week with another review. And I've been wanting to get a couple other videos out recently that have been on my mind that I haven't done yet. And I'm just kind of like, do I do it today or do I do it the other day? And whatever. But I just don't do it for some reason. I'm just dumb like that. But whatever. I'm going to try to get those out maybe soon. Maybe in the next in the next coming days, next coming weeks, a month, if I don't forget, because I probably will forget, to be honest. But that's it for me in today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, and if you are new, subscribe for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.